Has to say.
All right.
What's going on, Mr. Kasparaitis? How are you?
I'm good. I had no power, so we just got power back, and I totally forgot about it.
You're gonna have to
Right.
you're gonna have to get back in the league so you can pay the electric bill.
I know. I forgot to pay the bill. They turned the power off.
Hey, I'll tell you what. The way you hit, you could probably still hit like that and be the top guy in the league.
Probably, yeah.
Would they
No
let you
question
do
about
that today?
Excuse me?
Would they let you do that today? Play like you played then?
Probably not. They let me do in my men's hockey league.
I was going to ask if you played some beer hockey.
I do, yeah, and I got suspended a couple of years ago for 2 games.
What'd you do?
2 week suspension, but they called me after 1 week.
They can't play without you. Yeah, you playing defense in that league, or they put you on the wing?
I always play defense. I like to control things.
You still use your patented bend the guy over when he's coming down the lane?
Hip check? No more hip checks. My knees are not really stable anymore, so no more.
I was just watching some clips of you earlier, and my favorite hit was when you laid the hammer to Lindros. He's coming down the boards, has his head down, and that was as clean as it gets. Talk about that hit. Where were you at on that play?
Well, I think we're killing penalties and I think I used to love hitting guys because usually when they break out in the neutral zone, I usually try to find a guy with the head down because usually deep has the puck to the wings on the boards, and I think it just ended up being that Eric I think lost the puck between his skates, and I just finished my check. I was just not going to hit him. Unfortunately, he got hurt. When that time when I play, I don't think I felt bad, but now, of course, I feel bad because he got injured, when you injure somebody, it's not a really good feeling. It's a good feeling that you had a nice hit, but at the same time, it's not a good feeling the guy gets hurt.
Well, we were watching that over. I mean, I watched it over a ton of times, and they show you going over the bench and they're clapping and cheering. Yeah. And that's, like you said, that's never your intent. But man, you went out and just bust balls. you kicked ass, and we appreciated it as a hometown fan. We appreciated your style and your grit and your just toughness. That was a lot of fun to watch. So thanks for bringing those fun years to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I love playing in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was a fun town, and felt like home to me. I still have connections to Pittsburgh. My daughter was born there. My first child was born in Pittsburgh, so I'm always gonna have Pittsburgh in my heart.
Hey, what was it like playing over in Moscow when you were a young man?
Well, I know it was hard in the beginning because I came to Moscow as a 14-year-old kid from Lithuania. I thought I spoke good Russian, but at that time I realized my Russian was not really good. So I moved from Lithuania, from Lithuanian school to Russian school, and basically 2 years in the high school, they told me not to say anything, and they're going to give me like a C-. So I basically sat there for 2 years in school, just bugging my teammates because we went to school. We went to a special school, only athletes go to that school. So my class was a lot of teammates from in my class was a lot of teammates there. So I used to, bug them during the school times. But Moscow was fun. I was very young. It was a good experience. I had a chance to play with very great players. And, until I was 19 before I came to the NHL. But before that, it was a lot of fun. I love it.
Who was on those teams that you played against? Anybody that, like anybody we know? Some of those guys that played on that Russian team that was in the Olympics?
Oh, 92 Olympics, yeah. Most of our team, 92 Olympics playing in NHL. Alexei Kovalov, it was Dmitry Yushkevich, my partner Dmitry Mironov, then Zhamnov, Butsayev, Kovalenko, all the guys, Malakov, Vladimir, Kovalov played for Pittsburgh. It was a lot of guys that most of the team, besides 2 veterans, Bykov and Homutov, didn't play in NHL, but most of the guys played in NHL after.
Melikov was legit. I remember him playing in the NHL.
He was a big human, he was a very strong, big defenseman. I don't think people realize how how much talent he had. I think Vladimir, he didn't really he cared much about the game, but I don't think he was very vocal or very flashy player. So I don't think he got a lot of credit for it. But he was a great defenseman.
Hey, Darius, before we get too far into this, we wanted to just say, hey, happy birthday, 51. Did you do anything fun or special for your birthday?
Not really. My 50th birthday. My 50th birthday, I celebrated on a soccer field with my kids because my kid had a tournament in Palm Beach. So I had a bunch of little kids singing me a happy birthday, and then I had a little dinner with my family. So I don't know. Since I was a kid, I don't really like celebrating birthdays. Maybe because I grew up in a poor environment, and maybe my birthday was not a big deal. So
Yeah,
I think it's my wife's thing and my kids' thing to celebrate birthday. For me, it's just simple. Happy birthday is good enough.
yeah.
You sound like a family man now.
I am a family man. You know what? One birthday celebrated in Canada, and there was a bunch of kids singing me a happy birthday. Maybe like 5 years ago, it was probably 500 kids singing. I was on the stage and they started singing me happy birthday. I almost started crying. It was so emotional. See all these kids singing a happy birthday. But yeah, I'm a family man. I'm a father of 6 kids, so you can call me a family man.
Nice.
6 kids, Darius.
Yeah, 6.
Wow.
My first number was number 6, so and then it was number 11. So I realized I have to match one of the numbers. So 6 was enough,
Yeah,
11,
don't do 11. Don't do 11.
No.
You'll definitely have to start playing for money again.
Believe me, I already have to now.
So it was about almost 30 years ago you broke on the scene. Who'd you emulate your game after, or who'd you look up to?
I think I had my own style. I think it was I don't know. When I grew up, I watched Soviet hockey a lot. So I know like Fetisov, Kasatonov, was one of our heroes that we watched as a kids. The Russian Five and the way they play the game was fun to watch. But I think I just developed my own style. The reason I did that, I think when I came to, I was always very competitive and aggressive player since I was a kid. I remember my first hit. I hit somebody when I was like 9, and it felt so good. And I realized hockey was a perfect sport. If you don't like something or if things don't going well, you can just start hitting people and get some negative energy out of you. So I think when I came to NHL, I don't know if I was a hitter, but I realized the ice surface. I mean, the stadiums were ice surface were so much smaller than Europe, so it was so much easier for me to hit. I think I was a pretty good skater and not a big size, but I can go from point A to point B in a pretty good speed. So I think I realized there was a easier way to hit people here, but also I realized that people appreciate it more. So you don't have to score goals to be fans' favorite. But if you play the style of that I did, I realized especially my first year in New York Islanders. I remember every time I hit somebody, people would go crazy and call my name, Darius. I was like, wow, this is cool, So I realized that you have to it was something that I love to do.
And you think back to when you were a kid and how far you came right there. But let me ask you this: where'd you hang out after the games in New York? Any place cool?
In New York?
Yeah,
As a Islanders or Ranger?
as a Ranger.
No, you know what? I was maybe already older player, so we just used to go to restaurants and things like that. We didn't go anywhere crazy,
Pittsburgh. How about the South Side or the Strip?
Pittsburgh, yeah, I love Pittsburgh.
South Side.
Shady Side, South Side.
Mario's.
No, when I played, we had Strip District.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, one of the clubs, maybe Bear Elegance.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody did it. But otherwise, we used to go to Morton's. I think it was the one restaurant open after the games. It was Morton's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
So we used to eat there a lot.
Did everybody take turns picking up the tab, or did everybody send it to send Mario the tab?
Mario never paid for anything. He was, he always made us pay for everything. I remember my first trip when I got traded to Pittsburgh. I was on a plane, and everybody were playing cards, poker. I was like, wow, this is crazy. These guys are, this is a fun team. So I have to lose a lot of money before I became, friends with everyone. So and I remember Mario was one of them, and he made me write him a check after the trip.
Do you think that's because you laid his ass out?
No, Mario and Jagger and Mario, they're very pretty good poker players. I remember writing Mario Lemieux a check for like $4,000.
That was big money back then, right?
Yeah, a lot of money. I asked him to give me like a break, but he wouldn't do it.
Hey, did you hear they're finally putting Yager's number up in the rafters in Pittsburgh?
Well, finally retired, so I think they're waiting for him to retire. I don't know officially if he retired, but that's Jaromir is one of the. I think Jaromir is one of the players that played the most in the league with, and he was a great human and was a great player. Especially when Mario left, he took over the Penguins. He carried the Penguins for many years after he got traded to Washington. But he was a great player. He deserves to be in the rafters.
You think he's one of the top 10 all-time players, Darius?
Oh, definitely. I think so. Did he make top 10?
I haven't seen his name in the top 10.
No? Wow.
No.
Top 100.
Easily top 100. Hey, probably top 20 at least, without a doubt. I mean, the guy's still playing. He's still playing over in what? In the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has nothing else to do. He has no kids, so what else are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. If he was like you, he wouldn't have any time to play hockey anymore.
Oh, probably more.
Hey, who was your favorite guy to battle with when you played?
Battle with? Like an opponent?
Yeah.
Well, you don't really like to battle against guys, but I liked, I really like playing flyers because you can go under the skin and, like Leclerc and Lindros. I think Eric was one of the guys that battled a lot. Then, Heath Jones, you can make him take stupid penalties. I don't know, especially when I came to the league, Mark Messier, Adam Graves, the Ranger guys, they were used to go after me all the time because I used to hit Messier all the time. I had a lot of good times.
You didn't happen to play with Messier then when you went to the Rangers, did you?
Oh, yeah. I played with Messier. I became good friends with Adam Graves. I still see him a lot during Rangers alumni. He's one of the classiest men I ever met in my life. When you play against him, I thought he was a dirty little prick. But, I play the same way, basically. But as a man, as a human, off ice, he's very classy.
I'll tell you what, one of my favorite things about you guys, professional hockey players, but hockey players in general, is, you stay out of trouble, basically, and you know how to be gentlemen, essentially, when you leave the ice. Unlike, other sports, guys get themselves in trouble and they're always doing dumb shit. But you guys, I mean, as hockey players, that my son plays ice hockey, and I always tell him, I say, dude, you go out there and you play your ass off, and I don't care who you hit and what you do, but when you are done at the end of the game, you're shaking hands and you're moving on. You leave it on the ice. And I kind of felt like that's the way you guys played in the NHL.
Well, the thing it is, you can hate the guy from another team, but then when you're done and you meet a guy, off the ice, I think you always respect what they do, and if they respect you, it's just a part of the game. You leave everything on the ice, and then whatever happens. Listen, we used to fight in practice, but then you go out and take care of the business and have a couple of beers, a good dinner, and we're friends again. So I think hockey is like a blue collar sport. You leave your emotions there, then you put it on the side, and you become friends.
Yeah, there's no time to dwell on that. You're mentioning about the grit and getting under people's skin. How do you think you changed the other team's game plan when they knew they were playing number 11, Darius Kasparaitis?
Well, I don't really try to change the game plan. I think the best way to make the team stop playing is to go after the star players from the team, and if you make a couple good hits, they lose the composure and try to take penalties, and hopefully we can use our power play and score goals. So I don't think that was my goal, but my intentions, but most of the time I looked for the big hits, And it was a bonus if you hit somebody like Brett Hall, or when I play against Lemieux or Gretzky. I don't think our team liked it very much.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, you controlled the blue line. You got in the scrum behind the net. Everywhere they had to keep their head on a swivel. I think that you're being modest here. They definitely had a game plan. They needed to know where you were at all times. Yeah, what are you going to say, Mark?
I was going to say, the one thing about, going after the big guys too, it sets a tone in the game that, just because you're playing against Gretzky or you're playing against Hall, who's a goal scorer, you're playing against Lemieux, that doesn't mean they're any different. They put their skates on just like everybody else. You get a shot at them, you take it.
Or, when I play, I didn't care who was, I didn't really understand what's the point playing the game if you're allowed to hit Gino Oggi, but you don't have to hit Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky. Because they are great players and because they make more money and they're more, famous, you're not allowed to touch them. I don't think that it's fair. It's fair for the game. I think you still have to play. You try to play clean and not to injure them, but at the same time you want to put some fear into them. The way they don't have to. You try to neutralize it because if you let them fly and do whatever they do without being worried about getting hit, so they're probably gonna do very easily. I do that every day. I do right now every day at the lunch hockey. I know nobody's gonna hit me, so I dangle all of
it. You watch a lot of hockey still? Well, when you're not taking care of those 6 kids?
Sometimes, most of the playoffs. Right now, it's very hard. My schedule is very. I have to put my kids to sleep around 9, so usually there's no time to watch hockey. Sometimes I watch, if my teams play like Pittsburgh Rangers or Rangers Islanders, if I have a chance to watch it, I kind of watch now Alex Ovechkin chasing Gretzky's records. I'm very interested if he's gonna break it, but I watch soccer more. I'm a big Manchester City fan, so I watch Saturday mornings. Usually I watch soccer.
Did you watch Sunday's game?
Sunday's game?
Chelsea?
Chelsea? Yeah, I did. Horrible. Bad. I was so sad.
Bad loss.
But the next game is coming even bigger against Liverpool. So we have to win that one.
Do you miss seeing that brand of soccer in the United States?
Excuse me?
Do you miss watching that high-level brand of soccer because you live in the States?
We still have a capability of watching English Premier League, but also other leagues. But being living in Miami and watching Messi coming here and
I forgot about that.
Having soccer crazy here, it was cool to watch him. Coming to the team was in last place and tried to make playoffs, winning the cup, and it was awesome place to be. Especially Miami. There's a lot of Latin Americans here, so. It's still people waiting for next year to see if we're gonna have the same great success as they did this year.
But those stadiums don't rock like they do in Europe, though.
Oh no, of course not. Every time I went to Manchester to watch the games, I went to Wembley Stadium last year to watch Man United, Man City FA Cup final. It was unbelievable feeling. Stadium split half and half. Half City fans, half United fans, and and especially beating United, it was a great feeling to be there and see people sing songs and show the middle fingers to the other half of the 40,000 people.
Yeah,
men acting like little kids.
You're talking about these different sports. How does that compare? How does it set hockey apart, in your opinion, from other sports? You played it since you were, what you said, little. It seems like the bond in hockey is just so strong, and we see it as different. How do you compare it with other sports, whether you played them or just observed them, watch them as a fan?
Well, I think similar to hockey, maybe be a football, American football, because I think hockey is a very big team. We have 20, sometimes 23 guys on the roster, and I think football has even, double size of them, or maybe more. So I think, we have superstars, and we have people that, play different roles. So I think hockey, it's I think it's the hardest sport to play, because you have to skate, you have to have good stick on puck coordination, and there's also people trying to hit you. It's one of the hardest sports to play, probably to learn how to play, and basketball and soccer, it's different, but it's still very hard sport. Sometimes you don't realize it until you start watching how they play, and it is pretty physical sports. Basketball, I watch. One of my kids play basketball, and then I watch a lot of soccer. It's not easy. It's not a very easy sport to play.
No.
You got to be in great shape to play either one of those sports.
Yeah.
And you got to be in great shape to play hockey. Before you came on, Terry and I were talking, and we were talking about basically how hockey to us is like, number one along with football. It's almost a tie because hockey's just so fast. It's so physical. But I don't think it's as physical of a game today as it was back in the day when you were playing. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think I agree because I think it comes from I think kids hockey, junior hockey. I don't think there's a lot of hitting now in the junior hockey. They try to clean up the game on the lower level, so I think kids don't even learn how to hit or how to find a hit or how to get hit. So I think that's where you see a lot of injuries happen, especially with concussions, because when I was a kid, the first thing my coach taught me, if you see somebody with the head down, you go hit them. You know what I'm saying? That was the number one rule.
Yeah.
You look for the guy with the head down. Right now, I guess I don't think they talk about those things anymore to the kids. Maybe they say maybe you can close the gap and try to use the stick more often. But yeah, the hitting was more when I played for sure. Right now I don't feel like even when you hit somebody, when somebody hits somebody, you're always like, oh my God, what's gonna happen now? Is this guy gonna get suspended, or is this guy gonna get kicked out, or the other team's gonna go after him? I was watching Panthers a couple of days ago, and Dmitry Kulikov hit this guy at Bedard. Nice, simple hit, and the team went crazy. And it was like, oh my God, this is nothing that when I played.
Well, they're trying to make Bedard the next. They want him to overtake McDavid as the next superstar. Yeah. They talked about all the goals and everything he scored, but he's a little guy. Like
But listen, if I play right now, that will be like my number one choice to go after them every single shift, just to make other team crazy. Just stop playing, just want them to kill me or chase me around the ice and take penalties. Why not? I don't know why guys don't do that anymore. Why don't we have guys like me or Sean Avery or Matthew Barnaby that just in your face, don't care, and just go, and Ulf Samuelson, you just play the game hard. I think Ratko Gudas just one guy left in the league who can still hit.
They're trying, making it an offensive league. Fans want to see scoring, but like you said, they get excited over a hit, but they won't let them hit as intense and as often as what it was in the 90s. Yeah. And that was part of the game, and you did it legally. You weren't out there to, hurt, but you did.
No, yeah, you don't want to hurt anybody. You want to make a nice hit. The people go crazy, especially when you play in Civic Arena or Igloo. So it's it was part of the game. Right now, it's like I think salaries change. Guys make a lot of money now, so they want to protect also investments on the players because they don't want the players to be injured and miss games.
Yeah. If you had to pick the best player in the game right now, who would you say it is?
Well, I think Conor McDavid, the way he skates, it's insane. Actually, I really I never watched Hughes from the Devils, but I watched him in play. I watched him in playoffs this last year. I was like, oh my God, that kid can fly. He's a very unique player. But of course, McDavid, I think, is one of the top choices now in the league.
Who do you think would have won in a race? Primetime Pavel Bure or Jack Hughes?
Oh, Bure for sure. That guy was a rocket. That's the reason they call him Russian Rocket.
Yeah.
He can fly, Pavel.
He was a special player, man. I remember I remember watching you guys play in person. Watching him play in person. I was like, holy shit, that guy can move.
He's fast, yeah. Paolo was fast.
What do you think of a guy like Tom Wilson, guy from the Caps?
I love him. That's the guys who, like, we had like guys like that, at least 4 or 5 guys on the team. Each team had it, who play hard game and who was, fighter, a hitter, and goal scorer. Power, the typical power forward in the 90s, like Kevin Stevens, he was, Rick Tocchet, I wish it was more guys like that.
Yeah,
he's definitely rattling chains and getting people's attention, making sure they know where he is on the ice.
Yeah, he can play too.
You played in the Olympics, right?
Yeah, 4 Olympics.
How were those experiences?
It's very. I have a very bad memories because I feel like it was so much stress, especially when you were playing as an NHL player. I think we used to fly in, go to the village, play, and leave. It was not like we had time to go and walk around the city, enjoy free time. We had games back to back, day off, back to back. And you fly back. So. But, it's cool to have something that, tell people that I play in 4 Olympics, which is very unique. I think not a lot of people can tell that, can say that. Not a lot of athletes can go to 4 Olympic Games, especially me coming from Lithuania, where there's no hockey, and played basically, playing one of the most games from Soviet-born player ever.
And you played for Russia in all 4?
Yeah, it was USSR, but then it was I played for like no country. It was unified team because Soviet Union fell apart, and then I played for Russia 3 Olympics there.
Okay,
Darius, I got one more question for you.
Okay.
What's the legacy that you want or you feel you've left behind in the NHL or in terms of your hockey career?
Well, I think, especially playing in Pittsburgh, I think people really appreciated my hard-nosed type of hockey game, blocking shots, playing hard, playing physical game. I think people appreciated that. And as a Ranger, I think I left a legacy, the stick salute. That everybody does it. After the game, people go in the middle, raise the sticks. Yeah. That was my idea originally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I will tell you that as a Pittsburgh fan, although I don't live there anymore, I live near D.C., but as a Pittsburgh fan, that you are still beloved in that city from what you did on that team. And I'm sure you know that.
Oh, yeah. Every time I go back to Pittsburgh, sometimes and I see people still wearing my jerseys, that means a lot, that I feel like, I left a lot of impression on a lot of people in Pittsburgh, especially playing in the late 90s. So I feel like, people appreciate my talent and the way I play the game. And I'm really, grateful to be part of the Pittsburgh's journey. I actually started watching a YouTube documentary about 50 years of Pittsburgh Penguins. So I'm going to, after this, before I go to sleep, I'm going to watch, my next 20 minutes.
We just love tough ass people from back there because, all our parents were steel mill workers. So
you said it best. It's a blue collar sport. You played it a blue collar way in a blue collar town, and we couldn't be more proud to be here with you tonight. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, my guy.
No problem.
Hey,
thank you.
Go get them 6 kids in bed and give your wife some love.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Good night. Bye.